Hi guys, today I would wish to take you through Computer Studies Paper 2 practical, that is 2017. We agreed we shall start 2019 downwards for the last 5 years. Therefore, we are at 2017, remaining 2016 and 2015. Therefore, we go straight to the instructions, and therefore Mavuno group of hotels offer accommodation services to clients. The accommodation rooms are categorized as single, double, or very important person, each attracting different rates. The schools with fridges stocked with the rooms with fridges stocked with drinks attract an extra cost. The management of the hotel intends to use a spreadsheet program to compute the revenue from the rooms. Open the spreadsheet program and create a worksheet to appear as in figure 1, 15 marks. Save the workbook as room charges, or in small letters, room charges. Therefore, we shall go straight and create this worksheet exactly as it looks like. Then we can go down there and answer the questions. Therefore, basically, you just go to your desktop, right click, go to new, then go to folder. You name the folder as instructed, 001, that is my index number. I double click my folder, then I right click on this white area, new, then I go to Microsoft Excel worksheet. Then we have been told it is called room space charges. Room charges. It is not room charge, but room charges. Therefore, there I have already scored 2 marks for doing that. Then I double click my worksheet. Then once I double click my worksheet, when Excel launches, I will be in a position now to type my contents just as I have been instructed, and therefore I'll type this. We go on and now type. This is service cost. That is service cost per day. Then we have down here we have a single space capital S that way. Then we have double, and then capital D that way. Then we have VIP into bracket space into bracket V that way. Then we have the next one. We have this one here. We can drag and drop upwards. Then we have now this is more letters, sentence case, that is space F, capital F, then we close the bracket. Then we have the charges here, singles 1500, then down there 2800, then down there VIP that 200, then fridge we have 300. Now so far we have been in a position to do that part, then we can proceed. Therefore we have done this part here. Now we go and type this horizontal room ID, guest ID, days, room status, and remember this work has borders. Therefore at the end of typing we shall now put the borders. Therefore we carry on with our work. Then that is in 8, cell number 8. These ones are actually starting from 3. Therefore you drag them to 3. Then also these ones you can drag and drop that way. Then this one starts at number 8. If you look at our diagram, our question paper, it starts from 8. Therefore we go and check in number 8. Then from number 8.1 we have room space, I is capital, D is small, room ID, guest ID. Then we have days, Then we have, so we are in C8, we have days. Remember, spellings must be exact. Room, status, S is capital, status. Then we have fridge, charges. Then we have room, charges. Then we have fridge, charges. Then we have total charges. This one is room availability, fridge availability. Then after now having done so, if you go to our question paper, here is that these cells here, these ones, the cells here, these ones, they have been text wrapped. There is text wrap that has been applied. Therefore, we have to make sure that one has happened. And therefore, from D, these ones, we highlight them. Then you go to this part here. This part, we have text wrap. Therefore, you click text wrap. And now, when you click on text wrap, you can see that one has really taken place. Availability, that one has taken place. Then we also highlight this. Then we can press Ctrl B, that is for board. Then we carry on typing the rest. We have 363. This is room 001. Then this is 3 days. This is status is D. Availability is yes. That way. Then we carry on typing that one. Then we have 103. 103 is room 0002. Then this is 1 day D. Yes. Then we have next one is 368. This is room 003. 1. This is S. This is no. Then this is 332. RM004. Then have yes. Then we have yes. Therefore, we have now typed that way. Therefore, it should look like that. Then, when you go to our paper, we can now assign the borders. Therefore, to assign the borders, you just highlight up to where data is that way. Then after highlighting, you go to this point here, borders. Then you put all borders, and we can just ensure that you have put the borders the way it should be. It is actually up to the last point here. Therefore, everything here has borders. Therefore, our work looks like that. Now, having done that, we can save our work, then go to the question paper. Therefore, okay, name the cell containing the value 115 as SR, the cell containing 280 as DR, the cell with that 200 VP, and the cell with this FR. Okay, format. Therefore, to name the cell, this one and this one and this one, you right click, then you go to this point, you go to define name, Then therefore we have been told this one is SR. Therefore I click on OK. Then I go back to this one. I right click. Then I go to define name. Now this is that is 28DR. Now then you go to that 200, right click, you go to define name, then that one is VP. Then we go to these ones again, we right click, and then we go to define name. That one is FR. Then you click on OK. Therefore, after you define the names, if I click on this one, you will see at this point it is written SR. Then that one is DR. That one is VP. Then that one is FR. Therefore, that's how you name. You just right click. Therefore, when you are told to name, you just right click. Then you go to this point here, define name. Therefore, when you go to define name, like this one, you just choose this part here, define name. Then once you define name, by doing so, right clicking, then define name. Now this dialog box appears, this one. Then you can define your name here. That's where you define your name as you have been taught. Therefore, now we have our 4 marks. Therefore, you can see from the name box here that this is a VP before that way. Therefore, you can carry on with the question. We are done with the part 1. Then in the column with room charges, enter a formula that can be copied down the column to multiply the value in days by SR if the room status value is S, or multiply the value with DR if the room status value is D, or multiply the values in the days by VP if the room status value is V. Therefore, let's proceed and do that. That is in the column with the title room charges. Enter a formula that can be used, that can be copied down the column to multiply the value in days by SR if the room status value is F. Therefore F9, and therefore we shall refer D9, this one. We shall refer this one, that is if this is equal to D, that is if D9 equals to S, if D9 equals to D, if D9 equals to V, that way. Therefore, let's go and do that one. And therefore, we shall go to this part here, room charges. Then a formula starts with an equal sign, and therefore we shall type equals. Then we open the bracket, that is if. Then we open the bracket if D9 equals to, if something is a character, you put quotation. If equals to yes, then C9, that is the number of days, times SR, comma, then you continue if again, if D9 is equal to quotation mark D, that is D, quotation mark, comma, and then it will be DR, it will be DR multiplied by C9, comma, if again D9, if D9 equals to V, comma, then C9 multiplied by VP. Then we close the bracket and press enter. Then we click on yes, and therefore I will now drag this down up to that point. You see now those are the charges. Therefore, if I go back and click on this one, you can see the formula that I have used. This is the formula that if D9 equals to S, then you multiply that one with the number of days. Therefore, that one is done. How many marks? We have now scooped 12 marks of these ones plus the up there, the other one. Therefore, in the column with the fridge charges, that is part 2, enter a formula that can be copied down the column to compute fridge charges. And therefore, we are now at the fridge charges. Therefore, we just press enter first. We go to the fridge charges. Now we are calculating the fridge charges, and therefore our formula of the fridge charges, that is we shall check if fridge availability is yes, then we shall have the fridge charges, that is we shall have FR times C7. That is, we shall have FR is fridge charges. This is the FR here. I'm referring to this one. It will be this one times the C7, the number of, that is C, the number of days. See this one, it will be C9, the number of days. Therefore, it will be multiplied by the number of days plus that one, and therefore we shall just check the availability of the fridge. And therefore, if that is the availability of fridge, if this one, if E9 equals to yes, that way, comma, then fridge charges times number of days that way. Therefore, this one will be 9 days, 900, since it is 300 times 3. This one you will expect 300 times 4, and therefore you just now drag this down that way. For these ones that are false means okay, we need to put a 0 to avoid this false, and therefore we can just come to this formula here and put comma 0 that way, so that where there is no charges, instead of writing false, it will write 0 that way. Therefore, you have seen how I have edited that to make sure that it doesn't bring false, it brings 0. Then we can proceed. To the next question. Now, the next question, those are 3 marks. In the column with the total charges, enter a formula that computes the total of the room charges and the fridge charges. Therefore, we shall now have the room charges plus the fridge equals, you just hit that one plus you hit that one. Therefore, you get the answer. Then you just drag downwards, just like I have done. And therefore, to see the formula, can just go to this point and see the formula that I have actually found. Then from there, we can just go down and answer the next question. We are in part D. Format the room charges, fluid charges, and total charges value as currency with the 0 number of decimal places. Therefore, just go to the currency symbols. That is these ones. These are the currency symbols, these ones, up to that point. Then you want to format this one to currency. Therefore, you just go to, make sure you are at home. Then go to this part here. Go to this part and hit this button. Now, once you hit that button, it will bring this dialog box. Go to currency. Then set here to 0, 0. That way. Then you choose the currency. You're using Kenya shillings. Then you just go down here and click on OK. Therefore, once I click on OK, you can see I have formatted that one to currency, 0 decimal place. Then we can carry on. Copy all contents of the current worksheet to a new worksheet. You just go and do that. You highlight this up to that point. Then hit copy. Then hit a new worksheet and paste then save. Therefore, we have already answered that one, and therefore copy, or we have done that. Name the initial worksheet as original and the copied one as new. Therefore, you just go to this, you double click this point, then write original, capital letters. Then double click this one, type new. That way, therefore we are done with that. Then we go back to our question. We are in part F. In the sheet named new, extract only the record whose room status is S. Therefore, we are applying filtering. And therefore, from the new worksheet, we filter yes. First of all, you make sure these ones are in order. Then, therefore, we are filtering yes. Room status yes. Letter S. Therefore, you highlight. Then, once you highlight, you go to data menu, and then you hit filter. Now, once you hit filter, filters comes. These ones are called filters, and therefore you just click there, select all. You removes all the buttons. Therefore, you only tick yes, S, because you only need S. Then you click on OK. Therefore, you can see it will only display. It will only display the. It will only display the S. That is in this point here, the room status, that is yes, and that is exactly what we have been asked to do. Then from there, you just save that one the way you have been told. Therefore, let's go on. Create a column bar chart that compares the room charges and the fridge charges for the guest whose guest IDs are this and this and this. Therefore, you also need to filter room 3, room 6, and room 12, and therefore that means, therefore again, yeah, you need to go to another worksheet, then copy this, then paste. Now, once you paste that way, you now go again to filtering. You filter, go to data, then filter. Then we are filtering. We go to guest room. Then when you get to the guest room, you select all. Then now you remain with 3, 6, and 12. That way. Therefore, if you look at this one, these guys had no fridge charges, and therefore this is 0. Only that the total charges will be actually that will have something. Therefore, you then highlight that one. You highlight this. Then you can now go to insert. Then you go to where charts are. Therefore, this is the column bar chart. And then, for example, you can click on that one. And therefore, you'll notice that you have now created fridges and total charges comparison. Therefore, you remember to save that one. You can see what I have done. Therefore, now after doing that, you can go to the next part. The next part is insert the following labels in the chart, that is in this chart here, and rename the chart sheet as revenue. Therefore, the first thing is to click on this chart, then you come to this point here, you click on the chart, then you go to move chart. Then in this dialog box, you type as a new sheet. It is called chart sheet. Then you now rename it as revenue. Then you click on OK. Therefore, you'll notice that our chart is a new worksheet by itself. Therefore, you can now go ahead and rename as you have been taught. Therefore, you can just go to access. Therefore, we access here. This one, we have the access. Then you can now type the name of the worksheet here. That is why access should be revenue. Revenue in Kenya shillings. Small letters. Revenue in Kenya shillings. Then we have the x-axis here. we can type now that in x-axis we have guest ID, then we have the chart title here. The chart title should be single room revenue, that way. Therefore, we have now also scooped all these marks. Then the last part of the question, print out each of the following: original worksheet, new, and S revenue. Therefore, that question is done. You only now go to, if right now I want to print this chart, I just go to File, then Print. Then I just choose the whole worksheet, print the entire worksheet, because from the examiner's question of printing, he or she wanted you to print all the 3 worksheets, and therefore there is no need of printing each single sheet, just print entire workbook. Therefore, that is the end of that question. That is the Excel question. Remember, you can get these materials from my website, www.ichaidon.co.ke. I have placed the website link just down this video, below this video, that is. Therefore, we can proceed to question number 2. Question number 2, the management of a county scout movement intends to award certificates of participation to the scouts who attend a fire rescue seminar. Assuming that you have been tasked to design the certificates, A, open a desktop publishing program and make the following page settings. Number 1, orientation landscape, unit centimeters, page size A4 and 2 centimeters all out. Therefore, we shall go straight and tackle that question just exactly as the instructions are. Therefore, in question number 2, we just go again to our folder, right click, go to new, then we open publisher, Microsoft publisher document. Then we go to our question paper. We have been told save the design as certificate in sentence case. Therefore, you go to this point, right click, rename, then type certificate, that way. Then you double click the certificate, then launch publisher. Now once you launch publisher, I would wish us to see what we are actually creating. Therefore, we are creating this thing here. We are creating this certificate. This is what we are creating. Therefore, look at it the way it looks like, then we can do it together. Therefore, this is what we are creating. That is this one. This is what we are creating, only that it is inverted, but we want it straight. Therefore, orientation landscape. Therefore, we go to our publisher, then we go to page design. We first of all change our orientation to landscape. That is the first point we are supposed to do. Then unit centimeters, we go to file, then options, then we go to advanced options, then measurements, we change to centimeters, then we click on OK. Therefore, if you go to that point, our 4 marks, we are almost getting it. Then A4, add margins 2 centimeters round. Therefore, we go to margin, then we go to custom margin, and then we put 2 centimeters around 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, then 2 centimeters. Then we click on OK. After doing that, we go to our last bit. Our paper size should be A4. Therefore, it is A4 landscape. Then we can still confirm that our margins are intact. Therefore, we change these 2 centimeters again, 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters that way. Then what else? Our margins 2 centimeters. Our margins are okay. Our orientation is landscape, and our paper size is A4 landscape. Again, we have to confirm this ones. This one keeps on changing. We have to make sure that it is perfect the way the examiner wants. Otherwise, we shall not score the marks. Paper size is A4 landscape. We have scored landscape centimeters, 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters. Now I can save my work, then confirm again before I start working. Paper size A4, orientation landscape. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you'll lose the marks because of not actually confirming. Therefore, from there, we have scored our 4 marks. Now we can go to create the certificate. Therefore, we can now do our certificate the way it looks like. Therefore, we just go to this point and start drawing our certificate. Therefore, we go to insert, then we go to shapes, and then we shall identify the shape that the examiner has used, and therefore our shape is this plus, this one. Now the examiner has used that one is there. Then he has also used rounded shape triangle that way. Therefore you can see it is almost matching to that of the examiner that way. Then we are still going checking on this. For the examiners, therefore make sure you are very keen on how this thing is done. Then this one is also so near to that point. This one is inside. This one is outside. That way. Therefore, after now having done on that one, make sure you get the correct shape. This by holding this this yellow stuff, this one, that one will help you to manage. Like now I want this one to be somehow outside, therefore you hold that yellow. For this one will help me to make sure it is almost exact that of the examiner. If you can see it is exact. Then after doing that, I can now start typing. Like now I can draw the cardle. If I just go and try to draw that cardle the way it looks like, you can use the scrabble. Therefore and then we can color that one. We're trying to draw the candle. Therefore, we just be creative. Just go and draw the candle. That way. Then we take the scrub out again. Then this one should be somehow grayish. Then you can try to be as creative as possible, drawing the candle. Just go to scrub. Good. Then I can now group my candle. Hold shift, then group. Now it becomes a candle. You can now move it to where you want. Then the next one is certificate of appreciation. Therefore, you can go and take the text box, then type here. That one is a bit big. Certificate. Then you take another insert shape. You take the text box off. Then you go again, insert shape, text box. Then participation, certificate of participation. Then make sure they are somehow aligning. Certificate of participation. Now you try to format to be almost similar to what the examiner has done. Form certificate of, I have used the veranda. And also this one should be veranda. Certificate of participation, but this one looks italicized. This one should be somewhere there and italicized. Certificate what is that way, but this one should be at least be bigger. And also this one should be a bit big. Also this one should be a bit big. Certificate of appreciation. Then there are some straight lines drawn. Like now there is, can hold shift to make it straight. This one is not straight. For insert shape, take that one, try to do it when it is straight. Then you can also draw the other one. When it is straight, you hold shift. Okay. Also this one, you can use the arrow keys to press it to somewhere. Then this off is somehow bigger. off. Then awarded to, we have first of all straight line, then we have text box. This is awarded to, this is awarded to, then from there we have for insert shape, you take the text box again. This one is for the phenomenal participation on, therefore this one is somehow big, but this one is small letters. F is small letters. For the phenomenal participation on, then there is some text boxes, some are worded. You can use worded fire emergency rescue. Then this one should be Algerian. This one is somewhere there for rescue. Then the fire emergency rescue, then presented by, just go to this point, shape, text box, then we have this point here, presented by, this is bigger, presented by, then there is a straight line, insert shape, take a straight line, there is a straight line here up to that point, then there is also another straight line here, delete that one if it's not pleasing, then hold shift to make it straight, then text box on this day, then there is these two stars, 1 2 3, this is 5 star inside, therefore go to insert shapes, then you can take a star, you can count the number of heads to sustain that it is the one you are using, therefore we have that one. We also draw it here, then we have a 5 star inside, therefore you go to insert shape, then you get a 5 star, this one, it has been drawn inside, then you also draw another one here, it has been drawn inside that way. Then the outer one is filled with some gray that way, then also this one has been filled with some gray, sorry, the outer one. the inner one is white. If we just put white, the inner one is white, that way. Then we can try to fill this one with a pattern. There is a bit of some pattern. There is some we need shape outline. We remove the pattern. Should not actually should be gray. We do the same. Yeah, good. This one should also have the, that is the solid fill. And this one. Yeah, good. Therefore, after now doing that, this one and the other one, then awarded 2 certificate of participation. And you look at this one, though it's not so much vivid, you can look at something like there is a bit of background, then send back. There is something of the sort at the background, but without the outline, and we have with a bit of that way. There is a bit of background put there. Then these lines are not so much shouting, therefore you can try to put some faded color that way. Shape outline, just put some faded color. There are some lines but look some like they are somehow fade, and this one tries to be somewhere from a distance. That one should be from a distance. Anyway, but this line should actually be straight. I can just repeat doing that. Just hold shift, then try to draw up to where the examiner wants. Then they are also fade, therefore you just put a bit of fade color. Also this one is a bit fade. yeah, that way. Therefore, that is how this paper was supposed to be tackled. And then we have the other part that we are supposed to actually print out the certificate 1 mark. Therefore, thank you very much for watching. Keep tuned, keep checking. I'll be doing Kcse 2016. That will be my next video, and therefore don't miss out. Remember to subscribe if you